welcome to Artist Talk yet again on Bob's Radio. My name is Rio Raymond, and I'm in the company of Vijay Singh, a DJ from the city and also a music producer. He's been plying his trade of getting people dancing across the city and outside the city for the last 10 years, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you around.
Thank you so much, Rio. It's absolute pleasure to be here with you guys. Yeah, it's been a while. We've been trying to do this, but finally it's happening. So yeah.
Let me also tell you, are the first music producer with music that we've signed up. Not, I mean, of course, the signing will happen,
Yeah.
but you're the first one to get on board from India, though.
Yes.
So it's even. I mean, there's always a good thing about the first. No, it's like a great memory.
Yeah, I will. It should be a great memory. I'm sure it's going to be a great memory, and yeah, we'll have a lot of listeners coming down to my this thing through your channel. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we'll look forward to that as well. Hopefully, the numbers will. But we're here to talk about Digvijay, the artist, more than just the
Yes.
DJ, because I know apparently there's some great crowds that come by for your gigs.
Yeah, there is a lot of crowd coming by nowadays. There's a lot of crowd in Bangalore itself. You can look at the traffic and tell about it.
Don't remind us about that, bro.
I
Because
was
we're so in love with our good old days of hardly any traffic, the double decker buses.
yes. That good old days Bangalore. But yeah, nevertheless, now Bangalore is booming, and then yeah, the scene is quite big now, and
Well, for someone who's been here for 10 years, you're saying it's booming. I think a lot of us believe we're doomed rather than that because we're not built for this sort of
you can look at it both
development.
ways. You can look at it both ways, right? Booming in sense of yeah, there's a good business on one hand, and there's and always something like something comes with a stake of
Yeah, I mean,
something
there are
on the other
always
hand.
pros and cons to it. Like, say, for
Yeah,
example, while there is development, there's also a large part of it that is, stalled in some parts. There's
Yes,
growth,
yes,
there is
yes.
also drawback in some places. So that's
Of
going to be a
course.
part and parcel of every place.
Of course, yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, we still love the city for whatever it's given
Whatever
us.
it is, yes, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you've been here for 10 years. Did you come here just to DJ, or were you one of those IT guys who then moved on to.
No. So I have been a DJ from my college days actually. I'm a college dropout.
Okay.
And then I've been into DJing since then. I started from Pune, then I was in Mumbai for some time, and then I was working for a brand called 10 Downing Streets for Central India
Right.
in Raipur, Bilaspur. Post that I came here for my DJing and further studies in music only
Okay.
for music production. I was a bedroom music producer but came to Bangalore to study in more in depth about music production and how things work and all of that stuff. But yeah, as Bangalore it is, came here, fell in love with the city, with the people, and 10 years just went by like that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that part of it when you say fell in love with the city and the people, because there's nobody who can hate us.
No, there is no doubt to it. There's no doubt to it. And yeah, I have to say it, man. When I came here, from the time the music sense Bangalore have is I've played across the country, but the music sense people from Bangalore have, nobody has. The taste they have in music is just untouchable.
Wow, that went straight to my heart, and I'm so happy that I'm doing this interview.
No, seriously, man, seriously.
Glad that you could see things like this. Also, what happens is, Digvijay, when you come down to Bangalore and you're DJing, especially from the north, people consider you to be like this Bollywood sort of a DJ. Was that sort of a stereotype that you had as well?
No, not at all. At starting now, little bit yes, since we have a lot of people coming from north here. So when they figure out that we are from north as well, now they have little bit. But back in the days, it was nothing like that. They were always open-hearted and always welcomed with whatever music we, cater to them.
No. What I meant was, did you have a stereotype thought that people thought you were a Bollywood DJ?
No, not at all. Like people welcomed us with all open heart, and I back in the days there was no Bollywood scene in Bangalore earlier. When I
Right.
was playing in Church Social, it was just good house, hip hop music, and that was the scene. Now demographically it has changed a lot post COVID, but earlier there was nothing stereotyping like yeah, this guy's from north, so he'll be a Bollywood. Nothing. I was well welcomed, and Bangalore was the first place where I get to play my first bass music gig.
Okay.
Yeah,
You remember where you played first?
it was Chelsea Social only. Chelsea Social.
Oh, okay.
So Chelsea Social. So there was two big venues in Bangalore. Humming Tree was a very big venue which used to host a lot of indie artists. And Chelsea Social. I was fortunate enough to get to work with Chelsea Social for a good 2 years. There I got to play my first bass music gig. And bass music was something which was connected to I was listening to for the longest of time, but never got an opportunity to play anywhere in the country. So basically, I got to figure out that bass music started in India from Bangalore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And who was the one you think started the whole scene?
I think in India, so there are a lot of people in India, like people like Medieval Pundits, the influencers like Talvin Singh, and bass music goes with a very long history to independence and people who migrated from India to UK and US about their identity,
Right.
how they wanted to, show their part of the art
Right.
to the world, a world which is completely different to them,
Right.
people who migrated from India. So bass music has that level of the Indian bass music has that level of history. But in India, if you say, for me, pioneers would be people like Medieval Pandits, Bandish Project. Now, Bandish Project is one of the core, the main act of bass music from India, from which you have heard of Nuclear.
Yeah, yeah.
Is a big producer. Nuclear
Yeah.
is a big name. He's one of the finest in the industry. So Nuclear was a part of Bandish Project. It was a band. It was a duo band which produces bass music, Hindustani bass music, which broke down about 10 years ago. So there were two partners into it, Mayur Narvekar, Udyan Sagar. So Mayur Narvekar kept Bandish Project name. Udyan Sagar made Nuclear as
Nuclear.
his project. So yeah, these are the people who are the pioneers of bass music in India.
But when you say like, Bangalore is like what started bass, drum and bass, who would you name here?
In Bangalore, there are a lot of people, man. There was a very good record label back in the days. I remember. I'm not sure if they are active right now, but there was a record label by Rahul Giri RHL.
Okay.
This record label was called Consolidate.
Okay.
And there were a lot of really good producers from Bangalore, like Ocean Tide, Ketan, RHL himself, Gurbax.
Good bugs, yeah.
Gurbax is one of the most prominent name who has blown out of Bangalore for bass music. Now he's become the face of bass luru. There's a term called bass luru,
Uh-huh.
where Bangalore bass luru. So Gurbax is one of the pioneer guys from Bangalore to do this scene here. Yeah.
This is one thing I'm really happy to even talk about is not because it's just Bangalore, but also the one thing that happens when you talk to someone from the entertainment industry, someone who's been like a DJ or an MC, who's been in the night scene of Bangalore. There is so much of nostalgia, there's so much of history that comes across. Like sometimes people wonder what this was in Bangalore.
Yeah.
And there are so many conversations I had based on these with people from this industry. Man, I tell you, the history is just mind blowing.
Yeah. History is, it will just blow you off, man, if you look at the history and the reasons behind it. Now, see, people do not get the part. People just think it's just music, somebody created it and somebody is listening to it, somebody is liking it, somebody is not liking it. That's just not about it. It's, when you look at the history, it's about the identity of people. So, like, if you listen to Indian bass music history, it goes back to people who migrated from here to US, UK. And yeah, of course, there was a racism for brown people, black people, and they were not very welcome to the society, right?
Right.
And they wanted to cater their culture, but at the same time, they wanted, so like, let's say if you are a person from south side and you come to north side, and I suddenly offer you a very hardcore North Indian dish, you might not absolutely like it at the first go. So these people who were in the other part of the land, they fused Indian music with electronic music and made something very extraordinary, so that these people who didn't knew our culture, they also they were curious about it. Okay,
Right.
what is this thing? What is this sound? What is this dholak sound? What is this dhol sound? What is this tabla sound? What is this Punjabi folk vocal
Right.
infused with electronic dance music? That generated curiosity, and that gave an identity to an entire bunch of people who were away from this land. And yeah, so it's just so much of it just gives you goosebumps when you think about it.
I mean,
When
it's
you think
also
about it.
like, when you music travels with you. So when you travel, what you imbibe from other places,
yes.
you experience, you add that and then create your own magic with it.
Yes. Music does travel with you, and yeah, and it becomes a part of you, I guess. And
It does. So let's say when you were here, you started playing at Churchy Social, and this is where you started opening up as a producer and being able to play your tracks too.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
Now, over time, what happens is most of the times, if you're not well known, like say like the ones from Europe, for their music, usually at venues, what happens, you end up playing music of other artists or mixes of other artists.
Yes.
Was it the case with you, or were you able to play
Yes,
your own?
initially, so see, there's a difference between two things: being a DJ and a music producer. So people confuse it with
Correct.
both the things are same. No, but both the things are not same. A music producer's work is to produce music, sit in a studio, make music, his originals or someone else's remix. But a producer's job is to make music. Now, a DJ is someone who will go out there on a club, on a concert, or whatever podium you provide to him. He will go out there and he'll play music. Now, it is DJ's choice to what to play and what not to play.
Right.
And not all DJs are
Music producers.
and not all music producers are DJs.
Correct.
So it goes vice versa. Not all DJs get to play their own track, and not all producers get to perform their tracks which they have made.
Right.
So that was the case with me when I came to Bangalore. I was not a music producer. I was a music producer, but I was a very bedroom producer. I wouldn't produce my music, or even if I produce, I was not confident enough
Right.
to, if it is good enough, to play it out on the public or not. So yes, initially I started playing with other people remixes, other renowned producers, remixes and originals. But yeah, eventually down the line, 2 years down the line, I started playing my own edits. So yeah, so as a producer, you don't get confident at the first go. Yeah, this is my track. Yeah, the curiosity is there. That I want to play this. I want to see the audience reaction. But at the same time, when it's your baby, you want to give the best of what you have
Yeah.
made to your audience. So yeah, I started as a playing my edits, remixes, and then now yeah, I play my originals. I play my stuff. I play other people's stuff, and yeah, that's about it. But it took some time.
So when you're playing, say other people's stuff, you've seen people like get their phone out and Shazam the music. Has someone done that when you were playing?
Yes, yes. Recently, I was playing for the launch of Beer Garden Belandur, and then towards the end of my set, I thought like the party was nice, the vibe was really great, and the people were taking music whatever I was playing, and they were taking very positively, and the energy of the room was good. So I thought I'll probably give it a go. I had some couple of my unreleased track, even though I announced it. Yeah, I'm gonna end my set. This is gonna be last 2-3 tracks of mine, and I'm gonna play a couple of my unreleased stuff just to test it out. And that was the first time I was playing. But then still I saw two people trying to Shazam it.
Uh-huh.
And that was, yeah, I was like, okay.
That
These
was
are-
like heartwarming for you.
yeah, it was very heartwarming for me. I was like, bro, I'll only give it to you. You take it from me. It's not yet released. But then, yeah, it gives you that satisfaction. Yeah, somebody liked it. Like, it is that validation you get that
Correct.
you are doing something and people are liking it. You don't have to I don't have to communicate with you.
It's just
about
your
it.
craft is speaking for
Yes,
itself.
your music is speaking. What you have done is speaking, and someone there is liking it. That is, a validation in itself, and it's a motivation in itself to go further.
Yeah, and do you also do production for other artists, or is just your own baby?
So basically producing for other artists is a segment which we call ghost productions for people. Yeah, post COVID, so we all went through a financial breakdown, emotional breakdown post COVID. So that time I've made a couple of music for other people as well, which I've sold to them, but now I've stopped it. That was purely for commercial purpose. But then one of my track, I sold it to a DJ, and then that DJ took that track and he performed that track somewhere in Ibiza. And a very famous cricketer heard that track. He came back to India for playing IPL, and he wanted to record his vocals on that track. Now imagine, I was so heartbroken at that. I was not heartbroken.
It could have been yours.
Yeah, could have been mine. But then again, it's fate as well. I would never go to Ibiza post COVID so quickly. Like, I was not so financially strong to go to Ibiza and have to play this track in a house party in Ibiza. I'm not that well connected. So maybe it was just his fate. But then, yeah. But after that incident, I stopped myself. Yeah, my music, I'll restrain it. To
Would you
myself.
want to tell us the cricketer?
He's the man, man. He's done few tracks earlier as well. Chris Gayle.
Oh, Chris Gayle.
Chris Gayle. Yeah.
Okay.
Think so. He was. I'm not even sure he was playing that IPL post COVID. He's played IPL matches or not. But then he heard that track in a house party in Ibiza.
Wow. The universe boss would have been singing on your track with your
Probably.
credentials. I mean, these are things that we always learn from. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm guessing that
Yeah.
It's taught you a lesson too.
It has taught me a lesson. It has taught me a lesson to have faith in your own. Because it's again a validation, right?
Yeah.
It's though I have sold it to someone, I'm heartbroken in a side that, okay, it would have been my track. Now I've given him all the rights. I've given him an entire thing.
Right.
And I've sold it for an XYZ amount to him. But now it's his completely. But then it is a validation. It's again a motivation for me that, okay, now that there were two people who were liking my music, there's a big person who is a celebrity who's probably traveled world more than, like, I could ever travel in next 5 years or 10 years, who's traveled the world. If he likes that and he wants to have a couple of some 4 lyrics he wanted to sing on it, and that's about it. So I was like, yeah, that's a motivation in itself.
Well, learnings are one part of it. I'm sure there'll be a lot more greater things to happen for you.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about drum and bass, it's also a part of the whole dance music category.
Yes, electronic
Right.
dance music category.
Over time, dance music has just evolved, exponentially across the globe, and everybody's going out to different platforms to try and, upload their music, and there is commercials coming in as well.
Yeah.
Now, you had the earliest one, SoundCloud was your best at one point in time, then you had
Correct.
Spotify, Amazon and stuff. how easy is it for you to be found on these platforms, and how is the monetizing? Because I know for dance music there's a lot more listeners compared to the other genres.
Yeah. So dance music right now is the most booming thing, is the most exponentially grown industry right now. It's multi-million dollar industry right now, and dance music is the thing right now. If you even see uh, a producer like Martin Garrix is now collaborating with a singer from India, Arjit Singh, and it has become that big now. It's gone to that level now. So it has gone. But when we talk about independent artists releasing music on Spotify, SoundCloud, or platforms like this, and to be able to be found out on it, it's not really easy. It's quite a tough job. It's all about, you have to do everything from end to end. You have to make your song first. You have to make the promotional content. You have to make a strategy about it. You have to follow that strategy, and not a lot of people know it. Like even for myself, I knew how to make a song. I knew how to finish it. Now after finishing it, I figured out that I have to put out this song on Spotify. Okay, there's a distributor. I can go to this distributor and release a song on Spotify on certain level, like Apple Music,
Yeah.
Spotify, all these platforms. I can release it. But then till there I got it. But I'm not a marketing genius. Now I don't know how to go about it. So now on my Instagram, I have about some 3,000, 4,000 followers. I put up a story, I get 500 views. I put up a reel, I get some 3,000, 4,000, maybe 10,000 views on it. I thought maybe, yeah, that's the way. I put up a track, I put up a reel, I made a reel, I put it up, I put up stories, I had my friends share it, and everybody's sharing on my Instagram. The numbers are really good. But when I see the funnel down my Spotify, only 50 people heard it. That's the conversion.
Ah.
Then I was like, okay. But that was my first release. That taught me a lesson. Okay, how do I go about it? People are liking it on Instagram, but for them to have them drive from Instagram to over there,
This cross marketing is what is like a mind bender for artists.
mind bender.
Because every artist that I speak to, it's always about being found is one. Then also on Instagram, the artist is taken away, and then the influencer part is what's coming in.
Coming in, correct. So again, so now when we step into platforms, one way to get yourself heard is get exposed to a newer audiences playlist.
Right.
Now when you reach out to this playlist, either these playlists are dominated by record labels, big record labels,
Totally.
or either you have to pay them a humongous amount for you to get featured on this playlist.
Right.
And this playlist would have about, let's say, 500 tracks, and your track would be somewhere on 450 number, 456. So still you are paying a good amount of money to someone, and they'll again connect you back to Instagram, make you look big in Instagram. But at the end, funnel is, again, the conversion is very less. And on top of it, it's very scary on top of it. This some playlist, they use, now that we have this AI thing going on, they use a lot of AI
AI
stuff,
tracks.
AI stuff to boost your playlist, play numbers and stuff on Spotify. Whereas Spotify is backtracking your profile with if you are using any illegal ways to increase your plays on Spotify. Because at the end, this all converts you into an artist, and you get gigs upon your numbers listenership, right? So Spotify directly deactivate. There is no one hit or two hit. If you are detected as you're using any illegal ways to get numbers, your Spotify profile, let's say you've worked 6 months on it, 6 years on it, it will be immediately gone. And what was your mistake? You reached out to a playlist which used an unethical way of getting listeners.
Let me ask you this, since you're talking about Spotify and streaming platforms. I'm guessing the rules apply for all the platforms as well.
Yes, it applies.
Do you think, as an artist, that streaming platforms are the future to create a superstar out of a musician?
In current situation, I think right now, yes. But now the numbers of independent artists coming out in the market, I think future will be more independent. People won't be only dependent on Spotify. Like, not a lot of people are happy about Spotify's revenue share. They recently changed their revenue sharing, and the sharing is something very odd. And people do not, it's your music, it's all your hard work. And Spotify, if you look at it, it's just a streaming platform.
Correct.
Who, branded themselves very well. Tomorrow you can make something out of it, and you can spend the same amount of money, and there will be another Spotify tomorrow. But the future artist will realize this. People like us who are already realizing it, and independency is the way to go.
Actually, from what you're saying, it's not just future. I think a lot of artists now itself have got the bug. that streaming platforms are not doing the good for them.
Correct.
And also at the same time, it's somewhat like, it's a stress. Every time you have to go on Instagram and push certain things because numbers might happen, may not happen. And your gigs or whatever brand collaboration happen based on the numbers on Instagram.
Correct.
In fact, even when your music is supposed to be the forefront, it's their followers that are going to take the forefront.
Correct.
So a lot of artists are kind of dilly-dallying with this thought, should we go ahead and... It's stressful. You can't do this on a day-to-day basis.
Correct.
And to be in a creative space, that's what music is all about.
Correct.
You don't get the best of yourself out when you're pushing a whole marketing game every day.
Correct.
So a lot of artists I've spoken to in India and outside are kind of, just letting off their washing off their hands off the platforms because it's too stressful, because it's too much to do on a day-to-day basis.
It is. So you see, now we need to understand one small thing over here. Being a content creator, being a social media influencer is one job in itself now. It's a dedicated job. It's an entire full-time job. Being a music producer is an entire dedicated full-time job. What we need to understand is that either you can be a good influencer or either you can be a good music producer. You cannot be good. There are very rare people I've seen in my career, which has been a very long career. And I know the top list of the Indian independent artists. Most of them are my friends. Not all of them. Most of them, I'll say, are good producers, but they suck at marketing. And there's something they cannot do. But it is scary at the same time where dance music, when we talk about dance music can open industry. Anybody and anyone can come into the industry, right? Like a person who's from an XYZ place who has 0 degree, 0 knowledge about anything, but who has only gotten music as knowledge from their family heritage.
Right.
They can also come into this industry openly. Someone who has good fan following on social media can also go to a DJ Academy or probably just go to YouTube. There's so much information available online now. Now they can also become, and that's where it gets scarier.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of influencers getting onto the music bandwagon too. So,
yes.
But I'll tell you what I don't know if this is like a good analogy, but this is what I feel like it is because of the discussions and the chats that I've been having. Say for example, it's a school and this whole marketing thing and the music is all like a curriculum. Yep. It works for one, it doesn't work for everybody.
Correct.
Now you have a kid who's beautiful in music. That's like the best talent. And that kid's music quality is better, or musical talent is better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And there's another child who's good in music, who's also good in sports, who's also good in something else. Okay, let's say he's not good in music, but he's good in sports and he's good in like studies as well.
Correct.
But to thrive somewhere, he's doing really well in these two subjects.
Correct.
But this one child who's good in music is not able to thrive in this particular curriculum because it's not fitting him. It's fitting the other person, but it's not fitting this child. So somewhere I think a lot of musicians are going through something like this because the structure is such that the musician eventually has to become a creator.
So here's the thing. So we have to realize as a music producer or a DJ, I can do so much. Now this content creation, being an influencer or being very proactive on social media, this is someone else's job. We need to get a helping hand on board for that. And that is the only solution to it, what I have figured out till now. That I can be a good DJ. I lock myself up in a studio for about a week. I finished an album. I locked myself in studio for a week. Only came out for gigs. That too only on weekends. That's it. I was locked for actually more than a week, 10 days, about 10 days. And I was not doing any phone. My social media was 0 and everything. But how do I keep myself active all this time? Because now the game is such that you have to be very proactive about a lot of things. Consistency. If you are and it's all algorithm game, right? If you are missing out on it, then your Instagram also, your algorithm goes down, and then again your reach goes down and stuff. So how do we cope up with that? So we need to get a helping hand about it, that who is good on it, and there are agencies who manage this.
Also, some of the agencies have like say an inside information in terms of the trends and the algorithms and everything.
So that's their job, right?
That's their job, and also, of course, they would be tied up to certain, not the agencies tied up to the brands, and also to the organizations that are running the marketing tools like Instagram or even TikTok in most cases. Like for example, one of the interviews that I did with an artist, it didn't do well here at all, like on our Instagram, on YouTube. But I shared the interview with this particular artist in the US. It's got us 1 million views on TikTok. I'm like, dude, what is this? What is this algorithm? Are we doing something right or are we doing something wrong? So you're constantly questioning yourself because you're not hitting the numbers you think it would hit, but you're looking at somebody. it's not like you want to compare apples to oranges,
Correct.
but sometimes because of the way the structures and content is being consumed,
Correct.
you tend to doubt yourself, and that's what also happens to musicians.
Correct. Same, exactly. Like, see, it has become a very hectic number game now. It's a very hectic number game, and the market has become so competitive that you constantly keep, chasing numbers, numbers, numbers. But we forget that what is working for you might not work for me,
Correct.
and what is working for me might not work for you. Maybe it can work for a day, maybe one time, maybe two times, but not always. Right. So, and yeah, self doubt, it's always there. Like, it's just not with numbers.
Yeah.
You just open Instagram. And now we talk a lot about Instagram because that's the current thing. Like, that's everyone's go-to thing. You pick up your phone and that's something that's the first app you open.
Yeah.
Instagram, right? Earlier it was Facebook. Now it's in Instagram. Now when you open Instagram, you see everything is so picture perfect. Like, even the music producers, they are making content so great. It's so picture perfect that you self doubt yourself.
Yeah.
How these guys are doing it? Basically, they are recording a content in a studio, but how they are doing it? The only reason they are being able to do it because they have a sense of camera angle, because or maybe they have a helping hand about it. But whereas old school people like us, we try to do everything and anything by us. Like, first original I released, I made the track, I made the artwork, and I did everything for free, zero money invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Zero money, except my DAW which I have bought. That is my lifetime investment. But other than that, I didn't invest any money on anything. From the point of releasing the track to release to publishing to marketing, zero investment.
And our numbers and what do you say? Our music doesn't go to the numbers at all.
It doesn't go to numbers at all. It reached numbers on Instagram because it was my first release, so my friends were excited about it. They shared it. They got a little bit attention about it. But the funnel down the line on my
Platforms.
it's very zero. It's very minimal. So, like, if I have hit 5,000 views on Instagram, probably 50 people have heard my song on Spotify, and 50 people have heard, probably 5 people have followed me on Spotify. Yeah, that's the number down the line, and that's where the self doubt starts.
Also, now it's we're living in a time where visual content is more appealing and sellable, and that 10 seconds is your window. If you don't get the attention in the 10 seconds, you've lost that.
I think it's much lesser than that 10 seconds because people are just constantly scrolling,
Scrolling.
scrolling, and scrolling. So your attention span is probably 7, 8 seconds, 5, 7 seconds. So the timing is going down. But it is, I don't know, I find it very challenging and tough. How can you cater something on 10 seconds? So I'll rather pass this on and not to run on this content, competition of trying to deliver something really extraordinary in 10 seconds, or intimidating people with some false information so that they come to your content and see it. That's a very wrong way of misguiding your audience.
Now, this chat about this particular topic of how do we come to a common understanding to better the life or the way an artist can be promoted online will always be going back and forth. But if I were to ask you, just a thought, thinking out loud, if I'd say, okay, let's say Digvijay does like a full set of an hour and records it and puts it up on YouTube, and a lot of videos like this are getting a lot of attention on YouTube, right? So if you do something like this, like a full set, do you think that might work and give you like recognition too?
So honestly, if we talk about platforms, so I'll compare 3 platforms right here: Apple Music, Spotify. So Apple Music is a very niche. Apple Music is a very niche catering audience. Spotify has a audience, but not everybody listens. Whereas I've been releasing music on YouTube as well. Now YouTube has worked for me very well. Like, every time I put up a video or one of my recent song remix I put up, it didn't work on Spotify, it didn't work on Apple Music, but in YouTube it has gone viral. I have some. I just put it up last month. I have some 30K views on it already.
Right.
So, and it's growing, and it's being heard in Pakistan. It's more famous than in India and Pakistan. So YouTube has this some kind of an algorithm where it shows your content to newer people.
Right.
Where I think that is something is lacking in other platforms, but YouTube has that. And when we talk about getting more engagement on YouTube, yes, people are more active on YouTube, and they are looking for this longer sets where they can just play it and leave it on the car, on their house parties, and it's just going in background. So that content is working right now. That content is working very well. And
Because
you'll
once you're known for your craft, the kind of music you do. Because I know earlier, although there was a Spotify, I mean, Spotify wasn't big back in the day. Like say, I'm talking 2010, 2011. You hear most of this on YouTube,
YouTube, yeah, yeah,
right? And then you would hear it on the radio.
correct.
These are the two ways. And when people, LimeWire or whatever, they bought songs or just
Yeah,
downloaded whatever from torrents. That's how people had music, and they got to know of these artists too. So
correct,
eventually, when an artist goes to perform, they would go for that because
correct.
they are familiar with the music. So similarly, I think, I don't know. I'm asking you, if this sort of a format kicks in where you have YouTube giving you the numbers,
Correct.
will that affect the kind of turnouts at your gigs?
Yes, I'm sure that will affect because it has actually affected me. It has actually. So it has affected in both ways. So performed in a gig. I played my tracks, and last I like just made a simple announcement that these are my tracks. The last few tracks I played. These are up on my YouTube. My name is this, and then yeah. So there were people who from that gig went to my YouTube. They've left comment over there. Ki, hey, I saw you play at this particular night and this particular place. I heard your remixes came from there, and yeah, loved your music and been listening to it. One thing that has happened, and one thing that has happened, ki I released music on YouTube. I've put up shots on YouTube of my music. They've heard my music on YouTube. They've come to my Instagram. To their surprise, I was from Bangalore, and they were also from Bangalore. They came down to my gig. They met me. They said hi, and it was like for them it was a fun kind of moment. I was like, and I was overwhelmed by myself. Like, okay, and this
I've got
cannot be
fans.
yeah. I cannot believe like I would still feel shy to call them fans. I like rather call them friends. Ki, boss, if you have heard my music somewhere, you have come this far to say hi to me, then you are my friend, man. Let's have a drink together.
That's a rare thing.
That's a very rare thing, and it has happened to me. And another one more incident happened where someone from Mumbai who was a good fan of my. So okay, maybe I am just lucky enough that not a lot of people make drum and bass remixes or drum and bass content in India anymore.
Okay.
So I am making that. Maybe that is one of the reason. But yeah, someone was from Mumbai who was listening to my music for quite some last few months. He came to Bangalore. He came down to my gig and he was like, "Hi, I've like heard you and this and that." And yeah, that
But
is
drum and
happening.
bass is a niche of its own in the dance music
Yeah,
category.
yeah.
So
Now it's growing. Now it's growing.
yeah.
Now it's becoming like how earlier techno was. Like techno was a very niche in itself.
now techno is the thing.
Now techno is a thing. There is nothing in between. It's just Bollywood or techno. So there is nothing in between. Techno has become a lifestyle thing now.
Yeah.
People do not even like know what they are listening. You just cater anything to them saying techno, and they will just
Yeah.
take it. Think it's a lifestyle thing. So yeah, techno has become, but it's become saturated as well now. But next big thing is going to be a drum and bass thing, I think, in the market.
Well, we hope the best for you, man. And also, with the kind of this debate or this discussion on the platforms will be never ending
Never
because
ending, never ending.
there is never going to be a solution for us till someone comes up with a
Yeah,
solution
yeah,
to
yeah.
figure this out, or the algorithms have to change.
I don't think so. There will be a solution to it because the technology will always be growing. Humans will always evolve, and everyone will.
Maybe
find
there'll be a temporary solution. Like, say, someone comes up with a
for
new
some time,
product.
yes.
Maybe that could be the thing. But then again, that also has to do its business, will end up
Yes,
becoming
yes,
the way
yes,
it has
yes,
to become.
yes. I think the only solution to this is ki every time. See, there's never ending to learning new things, new skills, right?
Right.
The only solution to this is you always learn new skills.
You evolve.
Yeah, you evolve with the time, and instead of complaining, you just evolve.
Totally.
Evolve with the time. I was one of those people who would complain, ki man, what is this? This in Instagram influencers are becoming DJs. They have great content. We don't have it. This and that. But then I took a break. I learned some new tools. I learned some editing tools and stuff. And then yeah, I'm good now. I don't complain anymore. I make my own content, and it's growing.
That's what I think it's all about. जो सीखता है वही बढ़ता है. Something one ad tagline was there. But I think it's also about you keep learning and you keep growing.
Keep learning and keep
Because
growing.
the
That's
moment
only
you
way.
become stagnant, your growth also is
Yeah, the
right
world
there.
is not going to stop for
Stop,
you.
yeah.
The technology will only go ahead from here. The AI. So we 2 years from now, we used to talk about AI. Ki there will be something like AI. There will be something evolution. Some AI evolution will happen. And we used to think this is going to happen in 2040, 2050. That was our thinking, and we were thinking as an artist that it will hamper us maybe much later in 2050.
But
or
it's
that
already
era.
happening now.
But it is the evolution is happening right now. There are apps where I have there's an AI app. I don't want to name it on your radio channel, But there's an AI app because I don't want to promote AI music. That's why. That's the only reason.
Fair enough.
That's the only reason. There are people who are working hard really on their music, so I don't want to give out that something. But there's a technology over there where you just go right,
Yeah.
type a prompt, and you will get very similar voice like Arjit Singh.
Yeah.
There are VSTs. There are technology where you take up a mic. You don't even need a mic anymore. You just record it on your phone, put it into that software. It will make you sound like any other, like you
Top
can,
class singers.
yeah, you can sound like Taylor Swift as well. A guy can sound, and I have personally, when I say this, I have used it firsthand. I have tried it. I have tried to make music out of it because I used to teach in a music school as well. I have been a music producer and a teacher as well who used to teach. So teaching, it comes new technology, trying, testing out things. That's part of my,
And you're in the game. You got to be aware of what's
so
happening.
so I've tested and tried it. It's happening right now. So it's just
I mean, you also mentioned about how AI music has been created on Spotify for some people who just make numbers.
yeah.
So we're already there. I think
The evolution is happening right now. We thought it will happen
Much later.
but it is happening right now. I won't even lie to you. 2-3 months back, a friend of mine was from IT company, and they had they got laid off. A lot of people from their company got laid off, and first of them were this what do you call it? People who write prompts, content writer for a lot of companies. First of them were those guys got laid off when the AI took over from the company, and the pure reason was that AI took over AI took over their jobs. They already got laid off 3 months back, and this guy was coming back with me from his company. He was upset about it, and he was telling me, "Vijay, you see, it will happen." And I was like, "No, bro, music still needs that human touch to it. That human essence is very important for music, for that human connection." So he was like, "No, you wait and see. 3 months down the line," and I was telling him, maybe yes, it will happen. Maybe it will happen 15 years from now. Maybe it will happen.
Yeah.
Our time will be gone by then. But then 3 months down the line, I have used something what he was trying to tell me, and it was scary. Like,
I mean, as much as we keep saying, like for example, even ChatGPT, we'll say that there needs to be human intervention, otherwise it's not going to make sense. But I kid you not, every day there's new data being fed in. Every day there's new developments happening.
yes.
So I think all of these things as humans need to bring a bit of a control on tech.
Control on-
And otherwise it'll be tech versus humans in future, or the
I-
movies will come to life.
Yeah. The movies are becoming to life because I never thought in my life that we'll be running parallelly with. We are running parallelly with computers right now
Yeah.
already. It's just they are not in a form of robots.
Only
sitting
thing
with
we have
us.
the will and they don't have the will yet.
Yeah, correct. And they're not physically sitting with us as robots. They are there in our software.
Like even what is recording is also on the internet anyway.
Everything is so it's scary, kind of scary, and yeah. But only way to cope up with this is to
Evolve.
to learn new things, learn new skills, and it don't take much actually. It is just our laziness that we do not go back and try our hands on it.
Or maybe we're just like, say, we're accustomed to a certain pattern of
Pattern, yes, be
upbringing
comfortable with it.
where you did this job and this is your job
Job,
for the
correct.
rest of your life.
Correct.
But today it's not like that. Every day you got to keep upgrading. It's
Correct.
like you're the software that needs to keep you upgrading every day.
Yes, absolutely. And on top of it, I'd like to mention one thing that our education system plays a very important role in it. If you look at, so why I talk about education system, because I teach in a music school as well. I've taken a break for some time, for a year now, for my musical career. But I was teaching for good, like about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I have realized one thing, that our education system is a big failure. Like, it's a harsh statement to make, but it is what it is. Our education system is a big failure now. Why would you force someone to study certain topics where he is not even good? He doesn't even understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And you are forcing him to study that, right? Back in the days where for my schooling days, I have to study, like, to pass my 11th, 12th and 10th and 12th. I had to study about 7 subjects, and the criteria is that I have to pass on all 7 subjects,
Yeah.
or else I won't pass. Now in my day-to-day life, I hardly use any of that. And when I was studying it, I was least interested in it. Whereas I was interested in music, I was interested in sports. Where I think if I was given an opportunity to study music back in the days, I would be a much greater musician. I would be in a much more better place.
Place now then.
There's a reason to it. Because when we are growing, when we are evolving, now if let's say you're sitting here, you want to learn guitar now, or you want to learn dholak, or you want to learn any instrument, you go to learn, you learn it.
And faster than before.
But no. you will learn it at a much slower pace, because
Because of
now
other things
your
that you do.
bones are grown now.
Okay.
Your body is grown now. Not to Now your body is, that your muscle memory is already set. Not to reset your muscle memory to something new, it will take a lot of time for
Okay.
you to do it. But when you're growing as a young kid, your bones are growing. You mold your muscle memory that time. You learn things much faster. Especially in the case of music. Especially in the case of music, you teach a kid to learn a keyboard or play a guitar. They will learn it like this. They'll pick it up like this. Now here, at this age we are sitting at 30, 35, 40, we will learn it. We will understand theory like anything. But when we'll go to play it, no, our our hands will not, go with flow how we want to go. It will take time for us.
You know, we are already in a lot of dilemma in terms of a lot of things that are happening post 30, 35, current world scenario, everything. And now you're just making it worse. We won't be able to learn quicker as well.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. You won't be able to learn quicker. That's written. I'm not saying everybody is different. Everybody has a different pace. So I'm not saying ki you will learn into certain things. But yeah, if you be learning this at your 15 years to 20 years,
Right.
you will learn it at a much faster pace. If you will be learning it now, there will be a good time taken to learn things.
Well, it's been, I'll tell you what, a very eye opening sort of a chat with you, from learnings and the developments to the tech and everything that's coming through. But I don't know about the streaming world, bro. We're really happy that we're getting your music on board. And
Same
we
as- same
can. We're the first radio station who's playing your music?
Yes, no. One of my international, one of my tracks. No. But those are the released ones. But I haven't claimed. So the record label I released through. No, they sent me a message that your track has been used in this certain radio station somewhere. I don't even know where it is. I tried to find it. I couldn't find any source. Probably they have just downloaded and kept it. They haven't played
Right.
it yet. So for India and internationally, from whom I'm giving consent from mine, yes, you will be the first radio station to play it.
With consent. That's a big and important word in today's time.
Yeah, man.
Vijay, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so
it,
much.
it was an absolute pleasure having a chat with you, and also to discuss the industry, to run a little back into Bangalore's old partying lifestyle.
Yeah.
And hopefully I get to be a part of your gig someday.
Soon.
Not
we can-
playing somebody else's, but your own music someday,
Yes,
full-fledgedly.
very soon. We are working on something which is coming up, all original music. We are working on something soon. There will be something, and you gotta come for that.
For sure. Anything for indie music, man.
See you, man.
Cheers, always there by you guys, and all the best.
Thank you so much.